Hello friends, in this video we will see working with data in Microsoft Excel. First thing is a table. Now once you have entered the information into your worksheet, you may want to format your data as a table. Just like regular formatting, table can improve the look and feel of your workbook, and they'll also help you organize your content and make your data easier to use. Excel includes several tools and predefined table styles, allowing you to create table quickly and easily. Allowing you converting normal data into table is a good idea to have uh, extra options which you don't have normally. You can do format colors and fonts manually, but when you have a table, then you have some extra options to customize or organize your data. Now, if I want to convert this data into table, so first I have to select the range which I want to make it into a table. So you select the range which you want to convert or add it into the table, and then from the home tab we have a style group. From there we select this format as table command. So when you click on it, it's a drop down command, will show you all the different styles of table. Now here you can choose the style which suits your data, and then you select. As you select the style, it will open this dialog box. Now in this dialog box, it shows the range which we have selected. Now, and on the range, on the worksheet, you will see that the dash lines there, which indicates that the range you have selected. Now, if you feel like the range is not properly selected, then even now also you can use this command. Use this command to arrow command to click and select your range what you want to select. One more important thing, when we create the data, we should have the header row so that we can easily define the content what we have in that column. So the column should have the header row which will make easy for you to identify the content of your column. So in my data, if you see, there is a header, and header it's a first row. So here you have a command, you have an option here which says my table has headers. So if your table has a header row, so you select this option and it will format this first row as a header. If you don't have a header row, then you will deselect this option, so it will not format the first row as a header. After doing the selection, you press OK and your data will be converted into table. Now once it is converted into table, you can see it is convert the first row as a header. And one more thing it add here, it add this filter drop down in each cells of the header, so that you can use the filter option to filter your data of that column. So I have a table here, I have a data here, just not a table, but I want them to convert it into table. And you see they are having a header row which indicates the data which it is having in that column. We have a January here, we have January prices, February, March and all. So I select the range, and then from the home tab here I have format as table command. So when I click on it, this is a drop down command. I see the different style of tables. So you can select the style which suits your data. So I'll go on and choose what style I want. So for example, I'm selecting this style. Now as I select the style, it shows this dialog box. Here it is showing me the range which I have already selected, and you can see it is highlighting the range. If suppose the range is not properly selected, then you can click this arrow key and then you can drag and select the range which you want, and then you can enter it. Now it is already selected, so I don't have to select. The next thing is that my table has headers. If you don't, you can remove it, but my table has a header, so I will not remove it, and I press OK. Now you see my data is converted into table, the style which I selected, and also I have this header row which is separately formatted. And also I have this drop down filter menu where I can select these filter options to use to filter these data. Now after adding the table, you can do modify the table. Modifying the table, you can modify different aspects of the table. For example, you want to modify the style which you have selected. If you don't like the style, then you can change the style. So if suppose I want to change the style, so when you select the table, any cell of the table, this tool tabs come. In the table tool tabs, you will see the design tab. So you select the design tab from there, and here you have table style group where you can select different style from this drop down, and you can choose what style suits for your data, and it will be modified according to your selection. Okay, I don't like the color here, so again if I select this, you see there is no tool tab for the table. If I click any cell, I see the tool tab for the table, and there is a one tab, that is design tab. In the design tab we have this table style, and I'll go on to select some other style. I will select this one. Now there are some other options also here in this design tab, like where you can rename your table here. By default it gives you the name table and the number. You can change it to any name. Then you can choose this table style option, this different table style option. Different table style options, like already we have selected the header, so it is showing the header. If suppose I don't want, I remove it, and there is no header. Every header cell has a filter. If you don't want this filter button, you can remove it from here. Then these are banded row is selected. That means these row, if you see, these row are selecting each row in different color. So if you don't like that, you can remove it. Now all the rows are in same color. Same as row, you have banded columns also. If you select this, it will recolor the rows, columns. If you remove it, it will gone, and all the rows and columns are in same color. You can reselect it. It differentiate the rows. So that is why by default it is selected. Then here you have option to highlight the first column or last column. In my data, the first column contains the genre. So maybe I want this column should be highlighted. So I click on first column, and here it is highlighted differently. Or you suppose you are having something else in the last column, then you want to highlight, you can select this one also. So this is what you can change your style options from here. You have option to rename here, you have option to refresh, you have option to export this to somewhere else. So this is what the design tab you have. Now if you want to remove the table, it is possible to remove a table from your workbook without losing any of your data, but it can cause issues with certain types of formatting. That means including the color, fonts and banded rows, because when you remove the table, it will not remove the formatting. So if you want to remove the formatting also, then you have to remove the formats from the table, that means of the data, after removing the table. So suppose I want to remove the table. So from the design tab, the design tab of the tool tab of table, we click on this convert to range from this tool groups, and then it will ask this dialog box. It will say, do you really want to convert it? So when you click yes, it will remove the table. So table is not there, but the data is still there, data is not removed, and formatting is also there, it will not remove the formatting. So I am also having a table and I want to remove it, the table. If you see, if I select any cell, you will see this design tab because it's a table. Now I want to convert it into normal range. So I select any cell of the table, design tab comes, and from here this tool groups I will select this convert to range. So when I select this, the dialog box saying, do you really want? I say yes. And now you can see it is not showing the table here. If I'm clicking any of the cell, the table tool is not coming because now it is not a table, but it is still formatting same what we have used in table. Now if you want to reformat it, you want to change the style and everything, then you have to remove this formatting again. So select the range which you want to remove. From the home tab in editing group, click drop down for the clear and select clear formatting. It will clear the formats, and now your data goes back to the normal format, and then you can choose anything else you want to format in any other way. Now the next thing is pivot table. This pivot table is a specific it's a specific table which you can use it only on Excel. Normal table you can use it on MS Word also, but this pivot table is specifically for Excel. When you have a lot of data, so it can sometimes be difficult to analyze all of the information in your worksheet. So this pivot table can help make your worksheet more manageable by summarizing your data and allowing you to manipulate in different ways. That means consider this image here. We are having a data where we have a salesperson's name, then we have the regions, we have accounts number, we have amount they have ordered, and we have different months. Now consider the question like, what is the amount sold by each salesperson? So I can see that salesperson's name are coming in multiple time. It is coming in multiple rows. I can even use the subtotal here. If I use the subtotal, I can see, I can sort the data according to the person, sale person, and then I can see how much data they have, how much they have ordered. I can see the total here in this column. But if suppose suddenly I change the question, then again I have to recreate the subtotal, remove the previous, and then I have to recreate. It will do lots of job. It will need lots of work. And then if I change again the question, like suppose now I don't want to see based on the sale person, I want to see based on the month, or suppose I want to see based on the region. So we can have different questions, and the solution is what? Pivot table. The pivot table gives you option to use your data into different ways without doing much effort. So it will calculate and summarize the data based on your different criteria. Like here it will look like this if you use it for only sale persons. The sale person's name will come here, their amount, total amount for all the months, and then this is grand total. If you change the question, like I want to see according to the month, so it will show you like this. If you change the question and you say like I want to see based on the region, it will change. It can change very easily. Now how to create the pivot table? So first select the table or the cells range which you want to convert into, which you want to use to create the pivot table. Now the cell range or the table which you are selecting, that must have a region, that must have the headers. If you don't have a headers, then you will get a problem to manipulate or arranging the data. If you are having the headers, then it will be easy for us to detect that sale persons means these sale persons, and region means east, west and south. So it will be easy for us to arrange in pivot table. So it must include the headers, and if it is converted into table, that is much better. So select the range or table first, and then from the insert command, from the insert tab, we have this pivot table command. So click on the pivot table and it will open this dialog box. Now here you have to select the range or table name. So by default I selected the table, that name is table 1, and then you can select where you want to create the pivot table. So you can create it in the new worksheet, or even you can create it in the existing sheet. So if you select the existing sheet, it will ask where in the existing sheet. So you can give the cell address here directly, or you can click on this arrow key to select the cell from the worksheet. Now if you have multiple tables in your workbook, that means in same sheet or in another sheets also, but in the same workbook, then if you want to manage those all tables together in the pivot table, then you can use this, you can click this option to add all the table. Okay, so whatever you want, select and then press OK. So here I'm selecting new worksheet, so it will create the pivot table in new worksheet. So you will see the pivot table here, and here you will see the pivot table, you will see the field list, and you can see it is showing the headers of that table. If suppose there is no header, then it will be very difficult to manage. And these are the fields of pivot table. Fields like filter, column, values and arrows, rows. That means the columns will appear like here. Suppose this is your pivot table. So the columns will come here, and in the columns the rows will be there. So you have to select what data you want to show in rows, what data you want to show in columns, and what you want to use for value. So in this table I have an order amount. Order amount is like a price and it is in numbers, so it will go in value, and automatically it will use the sum formula, sum function. Then other parts, other columns you can use in rows or columns. So if suppose you use it in rows, so the data will show here in rows, and your value column will come here. And you can even add filters, like you want to see the salesperson's data but based on region, so you can put the region here in this filter, and the filter will come here, where you can choose the different regions. Now if you want to add the data, if you want to add these field here in this pivot table field, so you can do it by just selecting them. So I want to see salespersons and their order amount. So when I click on these two things, it will come automatically here. The order amount will come here in the menus, values, and salespersons will come under the row. So it will show two columns, one for salespersons which shows in the rows, and one column for values. And your table will look like this, where you have first column where you have salesperson's name in each row, and here in the other column you have order amount, which is using this sum, and you will get the grand total also. Now it is not showing a price format, currency format, so you can format your table accordingly, like you normally format your normal text. So you can even format this text, you can even format anything else. Like you want to format it into number format, so you can do it with that. You can create, you can convert it into currency also. So we have a data here, so I want to use it into pivot table. I want to see, so I select the range, and if it is a table, so you don't have to select the whole range. You can select any one cell, any of the cell you can select, and it will show you the, it will give you the option to create pivot table. So as you see, it is a table already, so I'll go here in the insert tab, and from here I will select pivot table. Now it is saying here that the selected table or range is this, which is already there, which is selected. And if you don't have that there, so you can click on this arrow and you can go on and select. So I have already selected. Then you have option here that where you want to create the pivot table. So you want to create in the new sheet, so it will create the new sheet for pivot table. Or if you select existing, so it says where existing, so you can put the name, you can give the name here, the address of the cell, or you can click and then you can select whatever the cell you want, and then you can add it. But I want to create it into new sheet, so I select new sheet, and you can select if you have multiple tables. So I don't have, I don't select this So I don't have, so I'll click OK. And now you see it is created the new sheet. This is our original and this is our new sheet where it created this pivot table. Now pivot table does not have anything, and here we are having this all fields of the table, and this is the fields of our pivot table. So what we want, so for example I want the sale persons, and you see it comes in the row, and you can see here in this side the row for the salesperson's name. Then I want to see the order amount, and it automatically goes to the values column where it using the sum for sum function. And here in this you can see the pivot table where it is showing different salespersons total value. And now you can format it as you want. Suppose it is not showing in currency, so I select the cells and then I go to the home and I select currencies. Now it is showing currencies. If you want to decrease the decimal point, now it is more clear. So this is what you create the pivot table. Now one more thing, it will not update automatically. That means if the data updates, the main data updates, the pivot table will not update automatically. So if you want to update the data, you have to manually update it. And for manually updating, you have to select the pivot table. It will show you the Analyze tab for the pivot table tools. So from that tab, you will click on Refresh. That means, for example, if you see here in this cell, for this cell person, Kathy, the amount is 2650. If suppose I change the amount here for Kathy, this is Kathy, and suppose I change some amount for Kathy. Okay, this is also for Kathy. So this is 500. I'm changing it into 1500. That means I'm increasing 1000 here. So I increased it, but if you see the pivot table, it is not updating because it does not update automatically. So if you want to update it, so first you select the pivot table. So this pivot table tool comes where you have two tabs, Analyze and Design. Design is just for designing your table, and this Analyze is for your other options. So you can select this Refresh here. Now you see it is 2650. Now it will say after refreshing 3650. So I refresh it, and now you can see it is updating the data. It is saying now 3650. Then you can pivot the data. Pivoting the data means rearranging. Rearranging, that means if you want to see different things and your question is changing. Now I have a option to see it based on what? Sale persons, order amount. But I want to see in months, different months, how much they have sale in different months. So we can add more columns. Right now we are having only one column which is having this sale persons. I want to add more column, so and I want to see based on months. So I drag. The other option is to just click and drag the value here in the field. And when you drag it, now you will see the extra columns here which is showing data into different months. So here also is not showing, so I wanted to see it based on months. So I click on it and I drag it here into this column field. And as I drag, you can see now the table is changed. And now you can see based on months, and this is the total of those months, and then you have the grand total. Now if you want to rearrange it and you want to remove these things, like suppose my question is changed now. I don't want to see based on sale persons. I want to see based on region or month. I want to see based on month or region something. So first you have to remove the existing one. So for removing it, you have two options. Either you just uncheck it from here, or you can click and drag it outside of this field and it will remove it. So remove these ones which is already there, and then you can add what you want. Like I want to see based on region, so I drag it here in the region here in the raw field, and then the data will change, and now you will see based on different range the amount. So it is very easy to manipulate. Now I want to remove it, so I can do it like removing it from here. It is removed, or I can click and drag outside, and it is also removed. Now I want to see based on region, so I click and drag it into raw. And now you can see it is showing based on regions. So you see how easy it is to manipulate your data, manipulate, change the question, change the data. Even you can add filters also. Like you're having this based on region, but I want to filter the region based on month. So based on month, or suppose I want to filter the region based on sale persons. So I select the sale person and put it into filter. Now you will see the filter tab, filter line here. By default it is showing all. If I click, so I have option to see different sale persons. Let's say Kathy. Now it is showing Kathy, or it is only showing having an order of East. Okay, this user, it is having a West, or you can select all. So you see how easy it is to change your and manipulate and or reorganize the data, and it is very easy to reorganize with your pivot table. Next thing is chart. It can be difficult sometimes to interpret Excel workbook that contains lots of data. So chart allows you to illustrate your workbook data graphically, which makes it easy to visualize the comparison and trends. So it will be easy for explain someone. Now Excel has different types of chart, but that allows you to choose, but you have to choose the chart which best fit your data, because every data cannot explain in every chart, because some data we explain in this bar chart that we cannot explain it in pie chart. So these are some different charts, and there are more different charts are there, like bar chart, line chart, area surface chart, and bar chart. So we have different type of charts. So you have to select the chart based on your data, which suits your data. So first you have to select, if you want to add the chart, so first you have to select the range or table you want to have a chart. So select that, and then from the insert tab, you have this chart group where you have multiple different charts. So from here you can choose what chart you want, which suits best to your data, and then it is open the drop down where have multiple different options there. You can choose what you want, and then as you select, the chart will appear in your worksheet. So I have this data. Okay, I'll convert it into table so that it will be easy for us. Now I want to have chart, so range is selected, so I'll go to insert, and then from here you have these different charts. So there are many charts you have, so I want to use this column chart. So I click on it, it shows the other options in the column chart, and as I hover my mouse there, you can see how it is going to look in the worksheet. So you can choose what best fit for your data. So I'll choose this one, and here is my chart. Now I can move anywhere here in the chart, in the sheet. So I'm putting it here. Now after adding the chart, you can go for this one also. This is called recommended chart. Sometimes if you don't know like what kind of chart you have, that means what kind of chart best fit for your data, then you can go for this recommended chart command. It actually suggests you that your data is able to explain in this kind of chart. For example, I will delete this one. I don't want. Now I select the data. Again I go to insert, and here if I select this recommended charts, now it is giving me the options for the recommended charts. These are the recommended charts which can best explain my data into chart. And as you see here, there is no pie chart here because the data which I have, it is not able to explain fully in pie chart. But still if I want, then I can go to all charts, and then I can select the pie chart. But it is not suitable for my data, so you can go with this recommended charts. Now after adding the chart, we can have other options for the charts also. Other option, that means there are many other ways to customize your and organize your chart. For example, Excel allows you to rearrange the chart data, change the chart type, style. You can move the chart to different location, work in workbook, and sometimes you want to change the way chart groups your data. You can do many of those things. Now suppose you want to do something like you want to switch the row to column. In the row, if you see in the row, we have these January, February and March, and in the columns we have this category of books. So you want to change it, then you can switch it. So for changing this, you can select the chart, and when you select the chart, you will see this chart tool tabs. In that you have two tabs, one design and the other one is format. So in the design tab, you have this command. In the data group, you have switch column row. So when you select that one, it will change. Now you see the January, February is in now column, and this January is in now rows. So I also have this here. So I want to change it, and when I select the chart, this design tool tab comes. So I click on it, and here I have option to switch the row and column. Now you see in the column I have January and February. Now when I switch it, now it is showing classic mystery. This January is in columns, but it will not change the source data. Source data remains same because it is the actual data. This chart is only the representation of this data. So you can switch. You can switch it in any way. Then if you like, then you can change the chart type also. Like suppose that chart is not able to represent your data properly, then you can do change the chart type, and that is available here. Again in the design tab, you have this command to select the change type. So when you click on it, it will open the dialog box. From there you can choose what different chart you want, and then when you select it, the chart will change, and it will change according to your selection. So this is right now is the column chart, and suppose I don't want this, I want to change it. So what I do, I select the chart, and from the design tab I go to here in the data, in this type group, I click on this change type. Now I can change it to line. So I select the line, and then okay, and here it is changed to line. Then if you want to move your chart, you can move your chart in different worksheet, in the same workbook, because when you add the chart, so by default it will appear in the same sheet where your data, where the source data is there. If you see, our source data is also here and our chart is also here. But if suppose I want to create the chart in new sheet, so it will create here, but I can move it to new sheet. So for moving it, select the chart, and then from the design tab we will click on this move chart command. Now when you click on it, it opens this dialog box. It asks you whether you want to move it on the new sheet or you can move it to existing sheet. So if you're having existing sheets, then you can choose from that existing sheets from this drop down menu, or you can create a new sheet. So I want to create a new sheet, so I select the new sheet. I can even name the sheet and then OK. So when you press OK, your chart will appear in the new sheet, which is only for that chart. So I want to move the chart to new sheet. So I select the chart from the design tab. I click on this move chart command. Now here it is showing me you want to create move the chart in existing worksheets. That is, here we have these different worksheets. You can see here sheet 1, 2, 3 in this fiction book, or you want to move it to new. So I want to move it to new, so I'll go with this new, and you see here it created the new sheet named chart 1, and where I have only the chart. There are some other options also available where you can use to change the style of your chart. Like you have these different styles to choose from. You have more styles. You can choose what you like. For example, I like this one. Then you can also change the color theme of these bar. If you see these bars or these lines are having a different color theme. So if I select these different themes, it is changing the theme. So you can choose different color theme for your bars or lines. Then you can also add some elements like these elements like chart title. It is already there here in, you can see the chart title. It is above chart. You want to remove it, it is gone. You want to add it, it will add. You have option also to add the table data labels. You can see in the chart you can add data table also. Now instead of selecting one by one, you can do what? You can select this quick layout. It is predefined layout. You can see in the chart. These are some predefined layout. Suppose I want this, so I select this one, and it is your data. Then you have in the format tab, you have these all these commands which use to format the shape, because these lines are actually what? Shape. These lines are shape. This one is a shape. This one is your whole chart is a shape. So you can design your shape, like you can change the design of your chart, because it is actually what? A shape. I changed it. Even you can change the text style, all the text what you have here, and it is now changed. And these same things which you do it from here and over here, you can do it directly from here. You can add some elements, remove some elements. You can change the type of your chart. You can filter what you want to see or what you don't want to see. This is what we have for charts. Now the next thing is conditional formatting. Conditional formatting allows you to automatically apply the formatting such as colors, icons, data bars to one or more cells based on the value of the cell. That means, uh, for example, suppose you want to see, you are having a data here, if you see in this image, and suppose you want to see the value which is less than 2000. So if you are having a lots of data, you have to look for each and every cell to look for the value which is less than 2000, and it will be difficult. So you can do what? We can use this conditional formatting rule. So we create the rule like any cell which is less than 2000 should be color red. So all the cells which contains the value which is less than 2000, they will be converted into, they will be formatted into red color. And then we can easily detect that which cell has the value which is less than 2000. So if we want to create the conditional formatting, like I have a data here where I have lots of values here, and these are the persons who's selling these things. For example, they are having this sale target of 4,000. Now I want to see who has reached the 4,000 target and they have gone away. They have more than 4,000, higher than 4,000. So I want to see that. So what I will do, it is difficult to detect that cell particularly. So what I will do, I will select the range which I want to do, apply the conditional formatting, and then from the home tab in the style group we have this conditional formatting command, and it's a drop down command. When you click on it, you will see different options, so you can choose what you want to do. So we want to highlight the cell, so we will select this highlight cell rules. So when you hover the mouse there, it will show you these different options. You want to see greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contain, if your data contain text, date, then you can select the date, or if you want to highlight the duplicate values. In my case, I want greater than, so I'll select the greater than. It opens this dialog box where you can select the value what you want, and then you can select how you want to format. You have other options available here in the drop down. You can choose what best for you and then press OK, and it will be formatted according to your selection. So I have the data here and I want to format it. So what I will do, first I will select the whole range which I want to format, and then I'll go to home tab, and from here in this style group I have this conditional formatting. Click the drop down, I have the option to highlight the cell rule. Now I have different options to choose from. I want to see greater than 4,000, so I click on this, and then here I can select the value. So I say greater than 4,000, and then what you want you can select which color and which style. Even you can go for custom formatting, color and font style also. I'll go with this green fill with dark green text. Now you can see easily those values which is greater than 4,000. And also you can do apply multiple conditional formatting rules. For example, I have seen now more than 4,000. I want to see those values which is between 1,000 to 1,500, and I want to see that in yellow fill with dark yellow text, and you can see it is changed and it is highlighting those values. So you can apply multiple formatting also. Now Excel has several predefined style, or we can say it is a presets. You can also use to quickly apply conditional formatting to your data, and they are grouped into three categories. First is data bar. Data bars are horizontal bars added to each cell, much like the bar graph as you can see in the image, and it will go like this according to your value, and you see the more value the bar is more filling. The next is what? Color scale. This changes the color of each cell based on its value, and each color scale uses a 2 or 3 color gradient. For example, green, red, yellow color scale. The highest value are green, the average value are yellow, and the lowest value are red, as you can see here in the image. And also you can use this icon set. Icon set adds the specific icon to each cell based on its value, and you can see it is stable, some is going down, some is going up based on the value. So it is easy for you to detect like which is stable, which is going up, which is going down. Now for setting this preset conditions, for example in our data we want to add the icon set, or we can use any other. So first select the range which you want to apply. Then from the conditional formatting, you have these presets here: bar, color, or icon. So you can choose whatever you want. Like for example, I'm choosing this one here, and when you select that one, it now shows that values here. So as I want to apply here, so I select this range. Now I go to conditional formatting. Now we have these options here. Bar, which shows like this. If you see the preview there, different color bars. Or we can go for color scale. So different values are in different color scales. Or you can go for the icons. I am selecting this icon. And now you can see it is applied into all the cells which we have selected. Now to remove the conditional formatting. If you want to remove the conditional formatting, then click the conditional formatting drop down, and then from there go to this clear rules, and from there you can clear the rules from entire sheet, or you can clear the rule from a particular cell. So if you want to remove it from particular cell, then you select the cell and then you can remove it from there, or you can remove it from the entire sheet. Or if you are having multiple rules, it will remove there. Now if you are having multiple rules and you want to remove some particular rule, then you will click here this manage rule, and from there manage rule you can click here which rule you want to delete. So select the rule and then click on delete, so only that particular rule will be deleted. So if we have applied 3 rules there and I want to remove some particular rule, so I'll go to here conditional formatting, go to manage rule first, and we have 3 rules there. So suppose I want to remove this icon one, so I select this and I say delete the rule. Now the icon rule is not showing, but the color rule is there. If I want to remove all, I'll go here and then I say clear entire rule, all the rules from entire sheet, and now all the rules are gone. Now the next thing is data validation. This data validation allows you to control exactly what a user can enter into a cell. And this kind of data validation allows you to build a powerful foolproof spreadsheets. That means since the users won't have to type in data manually, the spreadsheet will be faster to use, and there is a much lower chance that someone can introduce an error. So there are 8 options available to validate user input. We can fix the input value. By default, it is set to any value. By default, all the cells have set to any value. That means no validation will be performed. You can add any value. But you have different options. If you select whole number, so only whole numbers are allowed. Once the whole number option is selected, other options become available to further limit input. That means whole numbers, like if I select whole number, then I can select what number I want. For example, 10 to 20. So user can only add numbers between 10 to 20, no other numbers. This is whole number. If suppose I want decimal, so I can select this decimal. It will allow users, it will allow to take the value input only in decimal. That means here it will only accept whole numbers, here it will accept the decimal. In this you can't add the decimal, and in this you can add the decimal also. If suppose I select 0 to 3, that means I can add 0 0.5, then 1, then 1.5, 2, 2.5, then 3.1, whatever. Then the other thing is list. This list validation, only values from the predefined list are allowed. That means we define the list of values and only that values will be allowed. Any other value will not be allowed. The values are presented to the user as a drop down menu control. That means we can configure it as a drop down, which allows or also it allows you to hard code it directly into the setting tab or specified as a range on the worksheet. So we can create the list by ourselves, hard coded directly, or we can select the range from the worksheet also for using the list. Then you have option for date. So only dates are allowed. For example, you can require the date between May 5 2010 to December 31st 2020, or a date after June 1 2018. So whatever, you can arrange the date and only that date will be applied, it is allowed, and any other data will not be allowed. You can select time. Only times are allowed. For example, you can require a time between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or only allow times after 12 p.m. Then you can also define the text length. So validates input based on the number of characters or digits. For example, you can require code that contains 9 digits. So it will only 9 digit accept. Also, you can go for custom validation that validates user input using a custom formula. In other words, you can write your own formula to validate the input. So custom formula greatly extend the options for the data validation. For example, you could use the formula to ensure a value is upper cases, our values contains XYZ. That means I want the value XYZ but only uppercase, not lowercase. Or a date is a weekday in the next 45 days. Whatever, you can do it by using the different formulas or functions. Here, if you see here in the sheet, we have some shipping order here, shipping options. Now, these other cells are depending on this value here. That means when I give the correct value here, these functions or formula which I used here, they will work properly. Now, because user is typing it manually, it can make mistake. If you see closely here, it is what spelling mistake here. So sometimes what user do spelling mistakes. So when they do type manually, they can do spelling mistake. So when they do spelling mistake, you will not, the other function will not properly work. They will get error. So in this case, we can force the user to add a specific value, the value which we define. So for that, what we can do, we can use the data validation. So in this case, these values are defined here in this sheet. It is here. It is this one. Standard 3 days, 2 days. And based on this value, it is getting this price here in this invoice. And using the function, it is adding those price here by checking this value, and then the formula is working properly. But because it is having a spelling mistake, user is not, the formula is not working. So we can force the user to apply only to give only that value which we need. So for that, we can do what? We can apply the list validation here. So for applying that, we select the cell we want to apply and then go to the data tab where we can select the data validation. And from the data validation, when you click on it, it opens this dialog box, and in this by default select what? Any value. You can select the drop down to choose those other things which you want. Now in our case, we see we need list. So when you select list, it will give you option here to type the list, what you want to add. You can directly code here what you want to have in the list in the drop down, or you can select from the range of your worksheet. So for example, here I want this list. Here I want the list of this shipping sheet. I want standard 3-day, 4-day. So if you can type manually, then you can type manually, or you can choose that list also. So I select the range from shipping shipped and using this, and then press OK. Now you will see the drop down here, and from the drop down you can choose those different options which we have selected, the range which we have selected. So I want to apply here. Now you see, if the spelling is right, it will work. You see the formula is working, but it is not compulsory that user will give the right value every time. So I will use the data validation here. I select the cell, I go to the data tab. Here in the data tools we have data validation. I click on it, it opens this dialog box. Right now it is any value. I click on drop down. I can choose whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text, or custom. In my case I'll choose the list. Now it is saying ignore the blank values and in cell drop down, so it will show the in cell drop down there. Now source, we can manually type there like this, then comma, then 3 days, then the comma, then 2 days, like this. But we can also make mistakes. What we can do, we can just drag, we can select the range by using this arrow key. Go to the sheet and select the range which you want to have in the list. Now you have the list here. Choosing the reference is a good idea, because if the reference changes, the value will also change. So okay, now we have this drop down. Now when you drop down it, you will see the different values here. If I select this, so according to that the formula works. If I select this, so according to that the formula works. And even you can type it manually also, but only if you are giving the right value. If you are giving the wrong value, it won't work. If I say wrong value, it will not take. It says the value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Retry. And it automatically, it will not take whatever, but if I type right, if I give the right spelling, it will take. It takes that value. If I type wrong, it will directly give me error. You can also set that error message which you want to show. So when you go to this data validation, selecting the cell, you can select the error message here, what error message you want to show. You can select stop warning information. You can select the title, wrong, wrong data. Now you see, when I try to type something else, it gives me the error, wrong, wrong data. You want to do continue? No. I say no, continue. Error. Also, you can set the message for the column cell also. You can have an input message here. That means whenever someone go to hover the mouse there in the cell, it will show, it will display this message. Like I say, I have list validation there. And what I say, choose value from list. Now when I hover my mouse there and I select, it shows me the message. List validation is there, choose value from the list, and you can choose the value. So it is good idea to have a validation to guide the user what they can add and what they cannot add. And that's it what we have here in this video. So in next video you'll see something else. I hope you like this one. So thank you and have a good day.